Good morning. Waiting on the rain to stop, and then I'm hoping that later today it's going to get really nice and I can get my yard work going. In the meantime, we're just hanging on some E blues sounds. Let's look at some tones, and I'll try and show you what I was doing after. Okay, here we go. All right, so what was happening was a lot of call and response is what I was kind of doing at the beginning. So to do, because blues started out as field hollers, and it was basically a foreman yelling for his all the people who were under him, and he had to hear their voices. If he didn't, if the choir was shy of a few people, he was in trouble. You know, so it was a call and response thing. These field hollers, and it could actually the original blues really didn't actually have any kind of a chord progression that came later. And it was actually just that the Negro slaves were listening to our Western uh, things like, and sure enough, they started picking up the harmony. In fact, if they didn't pick it up, they took it and ran with it, because jazz harmony is one of the most incredible harmonies in existence. Surpasses classical harmony. Not that classical harmony is a bad thing. It's amazing what they've done in their own right too. Um, but yeah, so it was all based on. Here I was on the E seventh chord, right? And then the classic in blues is having the minor third, right? So for me to throw in G natural, or even doing a course of naturally a lot of the G to G sharp, right? And then the other thing I was throwing in a lot of was blue notes, okay? And some of those were happening on some of these, right? That one wasn't really so much a blue note, because I was actually taking the minor third and kind of almost suggesting the major was going to come, but it never happened, right? Unless I did that. But you can hear, I'm doing this just so you can see that I'm under the wire, okay? Now, if I want to really do a blue note here, it would have been, okay? I would have bent the F sharp up as if I was trying to go for the minor third. But I never make it to the minor third, Okay, I stay under the wire a bit. Get so much more moan when you get that blue note. Right? So I'm going to get a lot more moan by just being under the wire of the flat 3, flat 5, and flat 7. Those are considered the blue notes. So here was a good example. Here was I had the flat 7 just nailed, and then I was bending, again, taking the flat 5 and bending it as if slightly to go up towards the 5. Right? That's one way. Now what if I did this? Right? If I take that A, be just underneath that B flat, right? There'll be a BB thing right there. Right, whatever. So I'm getting carried away. But so yeah, blue notes are bending a tone that's a half step below where a minor third or minor 5, flat 5, flat 7. You can bend the 13 into the flat 7. Just stay under the wire. You can bend the 9 into the flat 3. You can bend the 4 into the flat 5. So that's that one. Right? And you have that actually in the blues scale, right? Right? So you have that little riff right there. Right? Right? So that happens a lot. So these are all the riffs and stuff that I was going for. And then I was also venturing, I was staying pretty close to just staying in the E blues scale and not really going into too much else. I didn't really pick up on, I could have gone in an E major pentatonic and got the... Right? So I'm mixing the major pentatonic scale in alongside of the blues scale, or even the E minor pentatonic scale, gives you a lot of distance. You can also even do the B. I think the B minor pentatonic works pretty well. But I'm going to use that more if I'm doing the ninth. Okay, if I'm doing an E ninth. Right, so it's going to fit more of an E ninth chord. Right, so you get a thing like that. Right, so that's the E ninth chord. Right, so I can throw B minor pentatonic over that E ninth sound. So it's one of the tricks you can do on a lot of dominant seventh chords. Once you get into the ninth territory, the minor pentatonic built off the 5 of the chord is a great sound. Hey, all right, so I'm throwing in a lot, so going to keep you busy. Thanks for watching to this far, and I hope you subscribe and ring the bell. Okay, thanks.